This is the 20 Minutes of Influence podcast with your host, Greg Jameson. Influencer marketing is the process of identifying, researching, engaging, and supporting the people who create high-impact conversations with your customers. On each episode, I talk with industry leaders, business rock stars, and internet celebrities who contribute their knowledge about influencing others and growing your influence. Welcome to the 20 Minutes of Influence podcast. I'm your host, Greg Jameson, and I have got a special guest with me today. His name is Reger, and Ryan and I have actually just met, but I'm super excited that he's on the show with us today because we're going to talk about creating multiple streams of income. And this is something that I think everybody listening to the podcast is really going to be able to benefit from. So welcome, Ryan, and why don't you tell our listeners a little more about yourself?
Sure, Greg, thank you so much. It's an honor to be on your podcast, and you've interviewed some very big names, and so it's just an honor to be included. And I love what you're doing, and just thank you. But guys, I'm Ryan Reger. I wrote a book called Streams of Income. It's one of the few books, one of the, I think, 5 books I've written, but it's the one right now that I really feel like is what I want to focus on, because it's teaching people how to create multiple streams of income online and live that dream. But I started as an entrepreneur, essentially. Well, I've kind of dabbled in being an entrepreneur for a long time, even back to elementary school. But in '08, I lost my job and moved to Texas and got married. And I did not want to have a real job again. I really had that entrepreneur spirit inside of me that was ready to come out. And so my lowest hanging fruit at that time was my mother-in-law and my wife's furniture business. They were selling furniture on Craigslist, very part-time. And so I saw that, I thought, hey, we can take this full-time. And so my wife says, no, you need to go to get a job. But I made a deal with her that while I was looking for jobs, I would also work the business to try to build that up. And Greg, God blessed it. In 2009, we had $250,000 worth of sales on furniture just on Craigslist, just here in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. So that kicked off our business. We moved to Amazon and eBay, and then started to do smaller things on Amazon, smaller home decor. We got hooked up to the Dallas World Trade Center, where you have a booth there, and started building relationships. As you talk about in influencer effect, it's all about relationships, guys. You have to have those relationships. And so we started selling smaller things on Amazon using their FBA program. And then I found my true love, which I love helping people find ways to make money online. And it's really, for me, I enjoy selling physical products too, but I love being able to teach people how to do what we've done. And so I wrote my first book back in 2013 called Real Wholesale Sources. And it was just a list of wholesale sources and with some information on how to use those sources to sell online. And it worked out really well. But the beauty of it was that I partnered with a guy named Jim Cockrum, who's one of my best friends, my mentor now. And he helped me launch that book. And now I had a growing email list, and I haven't looked back since. And I just really love helping people see the opportunities that are out there. And so I've written several books since, mostly related to Amazon, until this book, Streams of Income, which is more general about the 3 main ways to make money online, and physical products is just one of them. But yeah, that's what I'm doing. That's what I love to do. I love helping people see that there can be something different. They don't have to go to a job that they hate, that there is opportunity out there and anybody can do it.
Yeah, I love how you said that you started out by doing things on Craigslist. That seems to be one of the ways that is actually a really good way of making money.
Yeah.
And it kind of seems overlooked to me. Everybody always thinks, oh, I've got to have an online store. I've got to sell stuff on Amazon. I got to sell stuff on eBay or whatever. And it's like,
right.
Here's Craigslist. It's free, and you just put stuff up on there.
And now Facebook Marketplace is another thing like that. Yeah, if you want to make money online, there is opportunity. You can even do Craigslist to Craigslist flips, Facebook Marketplace to Facebook Marketplace flips, garage sales to Craigslist. You just got to be willing to do the work.
Yeah, and actually, even thinking of doing flips like that. One of the things that I've seen is actually a really interesting way of making money online is doing sales arbitrage
Yeah.
on either eBay to Amazon or Amazon
Yep.
to eBay.
Correct. Yeah. Yeah. I have students that do that very thing. A lot of them, the majority of them are doing arbitrage, going to like retail stores, like Walmarts and Targets, and selling on Amazon and eBay. Actually, for eBay, most of them are doing garage sales and thrift stores. But yeah, you're absolutely right. Opportunities are there, and yeah, it's fun to see that.
Yeah. So in your book, you talk about the three main ways
Uh-huh.
to make money online. Can you tell us a little
Sure.
more about that?
Yeah, I mean, there's probably, and Greg, you know as well as I do, there's hundreds of ways to make money online, but for me, and there's a lot of things that I feel like are, in my mind, gravy on the top of what should be the foundation. So for me, the three main ways are selling physical products is number one. This is like what we just were chatting about: Craigslist, eBay, Amazon, Facebook Marketplace, your own website. You help people build websites, so that would obviously be an option. And so selling physical products, and in my mind, that's one of the easiest, lowest hanging fruit opportunities right now for somebody who's not really sure. Maybe they don't know that they want to write a book or go the route that you've gone with podcasting and all that, but they want to make some extra money. This is one of the easiest opportunities. You can literally go to a garage sale, find some stuff, and flip it on eBay, and have money within a few days. So that's the first one. The second one is creating a business from something that you're passionate about, something that you're knowledgeable about, something you're interested in. And that's, could become also becoming an expert in that. And so you obviously have done that too with all your books and your podcast, and being a speaker, and people pay you for that. So that's the second one. So taking something that you love and turning that into income. And the third one is coaching and consulting. It kind of goes in with number two, because you could take that same thing, that same passion. You could write a book, create a course, but then you could also be a coach and a consultant. So I see those are the three main foundational ways to make money online.
Yeah. And you said that, you moved to Dallas in 2008,
Yes,
which
sir.
was kind of right when we had the last major recession, which we're kind of
Right.
going through that again now.
Right.
And you also said that now's a great time for people to do this. And I
Mm,
totally agree. I mean, the
yeah.
fact is that some people are hurting. How am I
Yeah.
going to continue to make a living? Uh, I've been
Right.
a barber, I've been a travel agent, whatever
Mm,
it is, where people feel like, hey, those things have been taken away from me. And
sure.
here's some great opportunities to kind of say, hey, let's turn these into online businesses.
Absolutely can. Yeah. Just look at what's right in front of you. I mean, gosh, the barber, for example, just brainstorming just right here on the podcast. That obviously could be doing some of the things in home, maybe. Maybe he's got physical products that he could sell. Maybe he has relationships with wholesale companies that sell hair care products that he can get a better deal than me because he's on the inside. You could take those products and sell them online. There are so many opportunities, guys, and I feel like a lot of times it's easy to overlook them, especially when they're right underneath your nose. And it might be there's gold in everybody's backyard, and yeah, just got to be willing to do it. But it is out there, and now is a great time. We have people now that are their businesses actually grew because of this COVID thing, because all these folks shopping online now, especially if they were selling in like the grocery category. Oh my gosh, they're having Q4 type months in the beginning of the year, which is crazy.
Yeah. And you were saying, how you could uh, go buy stuff
Hmm.
at these different places at garage sales or whatever.
Yeah.
The other thing that I've heard that I think is a really sweet idea is you go to the dollar store and
Uh-huh.
you buy stuff at the dollar store
Yeah.
and you bundle it together into
Yes.
your own kit. So
Yes.
maybe it's, the barber with his hair care stuff. It's like, okay,
Yes.
go buy a bunch of plastic combs or uh, whatever else, at the dollar store, combine that with your expertise, and now you've got a product that nobody else even has.
Absolutely, 100%. We have students that are doing that exact strategy, going to dollar stores and bundling them together and creating bundles based on data. Now, they're not just usually going and just guessing at what's good. And you can do that and be like, I think I'll put these two together. What's cool about Amazon is they'll actually tell you what essentially what people are looking for. Real quick tip for your audience is if you're thinking, if you're that barber and you're thinking, I wonder what would be a good bundle. Well, you probably know because you're a barber, but let's not just use that hunch. Let's actually do a little bit of data and look and tell it what Amazon is telling you. So go to a listing that has a comb, and then below that, so go into that actual listing where you can click the buy now button. Right below that, it'll say frequently bought together right under that. And it might suggest a mirror. It might suggest a razor. You're like, okay, that's great. That's exactly what I thought would be. And then so it just gives you that added confidence that, yeah, those are the right products to try and bundle together. And then don't go out and buy a whole container full of stuff. As you just said, go to the dollar store, buy a 3 or 4, put together in a bundle, and launch 5 or 6 of them as very small tests, because you don't need to go out and spend hundreds of dollars to try that.
Yeah. Now, I recently ran an online course where we discussed a bunch of the things that you and I are talking about here right now in terms of let's create multiple streams of income, and especially during the time of the pandemic here is, okay, so what is it that I can be doing? And one of the things that I was trying to convey to my students is that you don't want to have a single source of income. You want to do multiple things here in order to create your income. The fact is that you may not make a lot of money at any one of them, but you put all these things together and you're going to have a pretty good living. Now, you said that you have over 16 different streams of income. Can you tell us about that?
Yeah, sure. So yeah, you're exactly right. When people hear me say 16, I'm like, oh my gosh, you should be like at Bill Gates level by now. Well, no, some of them are just trickles and puddles. They're small things. Like my first book, Real Wholesale Sources, I still get paid on that because that still sells every month. That may be $50 a month. I can't live on that, but you add all these other ones up and it becomes a nice chunk. I have some that are very significant, like it would be 5 figures and 6. Some of them are, some of them are 5 figures and above per month. And while you have others that are very, very, very small. So you're right. But yeah, you don't want to put all your eggs in one basket and just hope that, hey, this one is the big one. Let's just focus all on this. And this is going to be here forever. You're the perfect example. I've seen your infographic of somebody who's pivoted. Like you're not doing the exact same thing that you did back in 1974 when you got that first computer. Like you've pivoted multiple times, and you have to do that. Things change. We haven't sold on Craigslist in years, and I've only been doing this for 12 years, and that's a long time in internet marketing standards. But our business does not look anything like it did when we started. And you just have to be willing to accept that and move with the times and see opportunities like you have and jump on those new opportunities and end up changing directions.
Neither one of our businesses will probably look the same at the end of this year as they do now.
That's probably
either.
True. Absolutely. You're right.
Yeah. I've got one website that I run where I have a membership program. It costs $6.97 a month.
Okay.
Nothing at all, basically.
Yeah.
But and doesn't make me a lot of money. Well, at $7 a month, you got to have a lot of people to do it.
Right.
You put, and it's a month-to-month thing here for this particular thing too. So some months, I've got just a handful of people, and other months, maybe there's 100 people in there, whatever. Yeah. Even if there's 100 people at $7 a month, that's not that's not an income by itself, but it's a piece of an income stream that can make a difference. You start to do that and you multiply it over and over again. Yeah. In fact, I don't know if you know Armand Morin, but Armand told me that, the way that he has been successful online is you find these things that make $500, $600, $700 a month, and you do 10 of those, you do 100 of those, and now all of a sudden it starts to make a difference.
Yes. And it's great, especially if it's passive, where you've done the work once and you don't have to keep doing it all the time. That's even better if you can make that. Some of mine are passive, like that first book. I don't have to do anything else with it. Some are very active, like some of my membership sites are things that I'm in there almost every day. So it just depends. It's better if there are things that you can do the work once and they just continue to pay you. Mine are not always like that, though.
Okay. We actually, I want to spend some more time talking about passive income and
Sure.
maybe ways to do that. And I also
Of
want to
course.
talk about what you think is the quickest way for somebody to start making money online.
Okay.
But let's
Yeah.
take a short break and pick up right after that.
Sounds good.
Hi, I'm Greg Jameson, the host of the 20 Minutes of Influence podcast. Every week, I not only have the opportunity, but the real privilege of interviewing experts in their field, true thought leaders, and I get to share this information with you. The purpose of this is really to help you sell more of your products and services online, which is the core premise of my primary business, Web Stores Limited. At Web Stores, we go out and we create e-commerce websites for small businesses. Plus, we do internet marketing and digital advertising for those businesses to really help them sell more online. We have a whole number of resources and tools designed to help make this process easier for businesses, probably much like yours. I've been the author of several #1 best-selling books, including Amazon's Dirty Little Secrets and The Influencer Effect, plus a whole series of online courses if you want to learn how to do this stuff yourself. The best way to remain in contact with me, besides subscribing to this podcast, of course, is to simply go to gregjameson.com/free gift, where I have a special offer for you simply because you are a valued listener to this podcast. Thanks again, and now let's get back to today's episode. Welcome back to the 20 Minutes of Influence podcast. My host today is Ryan Reger. And right before the break, Ryan and I were talking about passive income and, how do you actually get this to where your income is passive? I think that that's one of the things that we would all really like to have happen is,
Mm-hmm.
I want to sit outside on my deck and soak up the rays and have the money
Right.
come in, or
Yeah.
the kind of ultimate thing, I guess, that people talk about is I want to make money while I'm sleeping.
Right. Yes.
So what are your suggestions, Ryan, on how
Yeah,
to
sure.
get this going?
Yeah. So most of my stuff, I'll be honest with you, Greg, most of my things aren't completely passive, especially getting started is definitely not passive. It's not like real estate investing where you can just literally invest your money and then that's it. And as far as, giving somebody else your money and them being the landlord and have a property manager, that's fairly passive. Investing in stocks, completely passive. What I do is not typically that way, except I do have a lot of books out there that are still making me money every month. That's something that I've wrote once and it continues to bring money. Some of my membership groups they were a lot of work at the beginning and less work as we go along, because I've built up a team of people that help bear that load and raise them up as leaders. Some other passive, let's see, affiliate marketing is a big one for me that's completely passive. I can promote somebody else's products. I could promote like your books and your courses. And if you have an affiliate program, I would get paid a percentage of that. And that's not something that that causes any work for me. I might just put a link out one time or send it out an email or post it on a page or just have a list of resources that I recommend. And you would be on that list and I could get paid. But you mentioned sales while you're sleeping. My friend Dana Miller calls them sales while I sleep soundly, or Swiss dollars. And we definitely have that. Even if it's not technically passive, you might have a product that sells in the middle of the night. And if you're an eBay seller, you might have to pack that up and ship it the next morning. But that's something that happened while you were sleeping. If you're using Amazon FBA, their fulfillment program, it's definitely not a passive way to make money, but once it's in Amazon's warehouse, for example, you don't have to touch it anymore. So I do have some students that have a fairly passive type of model where they've launched a private label product, and their only job at that point, once it's going and selling, is just to keep it in stock. So it's like a call to their manufacturer or their wholesaler and say, I need another pallet of these, and send them off to a prep center. That prep center does all the work and then sends it to Amazon. Fairly passive there. Nothing that we teach is like completely hands off where you just invest money and don't have to do anything with it. But we do have, some of the ones I just mentioned. Publishing books on Kindle Direct Publishing's platform is a fairly passive model, because you could launch hundreds of books. And I know people that do this, that just have books, all kinds of books out there generating revenue every month. And that is completely passive for them.
Yeah, I know of people that do that too, and sometimes people will come up with multiple pen names
Yes,
because they're writing into different genres.
that's right.
And
Yeah,
yeah, so one guy might have a half a dozen pen names because
right.
he's into different things, and
Sure.
and that's okay. The,
Absolutely okay. For
the
sure.
other thing that's interesting is, we talk a lot about Amazon all the time
Mm-hmm.
because they're the leader, but the
Yeah.
number two e-commerce player right now is Walmart, and so many
Mm-hmm.
people don't realize
Yeah,
that anybody can sell on Walmart too.
that's right.
Uh,
Yeah.
so, and
You're,
you don't have to limit yourself to one or the other. You can sell on
yeah.
Amazon
And you can sell the
and
exact
Walmart.
same product on those other platforms as well.
Yeah.
Yep.
So what would you say, we're sitting here talking and you and I
Sure.
are sold on this, but somebody that's just listening
Yeah.
for the first time, they're like, okay, this sounds good.
Uh-huh.
But what's the easiest way for me to start making money online quickly?
Yeah. So for me, I mean, we could probably brainstorm probably 100 different ways to make some quick money between the two of us. But when I'm asked that question, one of the first things I go to is find some stuff around your house that you don't need anymore and put it up on Facebook Marketplace. You could do porch pickup and you could have somebody come into your house within the next couple hours and leave cash under your doormat. So I would say something like that would be the absolute fastest way to start generating money. If somebody, that's what I love about selling physical products, Greg, is that somebody literally could have zero experience and $0, and they can start making money. Just go find some things around your house that you don't need anymore and put it on Craigslist, put it on Facebook Marketplace, put it on eBay, and you can start generating some cash out of that and then reinvest that into other products. Garage sales is a good one. Thrift stores is a good one. But literally, like zero, if you had nothing to invest, like find stuff you already have. The other thing is find a neighbor, a friend that has stuff too that they want to sell. Offer to pick it up from them and do the work on there for them, and put it on Facebook Marketplace or Craigslist or Amazon or eBay and split the profits with them. That's another model that students we have do who don't really have anything to invest that want to still earn some extra cash.
Yeah, I'm uh, lucky because I live out in the country, and
Uh-huh.
my neighbors a lot of them actually do online businesses
Okay.
because they've got big barns where they can store lots
Oh
and lots of
yeah.
stuff.
Right.
Uh, and I've got one good friend in particular. He goes around and uh, goes to estate sales, and he'll buy
Yes.
the whole estate.
Oh wow.
He's just like, yeah, whatever they've got, here's $10,000. I'll just buy everything in the house. He doesn't even know what it is necessarily, but
Wow.
he's gotten good enough at this that he's like, yeah, if I spend 10 grand buying up everything in this person's house, I can, triple, quadruple that money by turning around and selling this stuff on eBay.
Wonderful. I love that. It sounds like a storage auction where you're not really quite sure what you're going to get. You just you can
And you
look in
can
there
do
at
that
least.
too. Yeah, you can go to the storage units and
Uh-huh.
buy the abandoned stuff in a storage unit.
Exactly.
Wherever you can get stuff from. The whole idea that you said, thrift stores,
Uh-huh.
absolutely. You can go buy stuff that uh, cost pennies on the dollar, and
Yeah.
people will still turn around and buy that stuff from you.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, because if you cannot find it in your local store, where are you going to go? You're going to go online and look for it. And if it's something vintage, you're going to probably go to eBay. And so I love that business model. Just buy the whole estate. That's amazing.
So, what are some other side hustle ideas that you have, and how
Hmm.
somebody can turn those into a full-time income?
Man, let's see. I put together a download right after this COVID thing hit because I realize not everybody wants to sell physical products online. They may not want to do garage sales. Let's see, when we think some of the things I put in there, like literally just look around you guys. What needs are out there? Mow somebody's lawn, mobile car wash. Go to somebody. I do not like, Greg, there's something I'm bad at, is like taking my car to get an oil change, taking it to get a car wash. I work from home and I love that, which means also that I can be a homebody. And so it's hard for me to remember to do some of those tasks. I would love for somebody to come to my house and wash my car and change my oil for me. And I would be willing to pay a premium for that. So there are other people that are like me that, especially now, they don't want to get out of their house. Maybe they can't, maybe they're scared to because of COVID. Come to their house and wash their car. Housekeeping would be another one that you could potentially do if you're not interested in the things that we just talked about. Another thing, way to make quick money online is, I think if you have anybody coming to you asking your advice for something, let's say that you just dropped 50 pounds and you're getting healthy, that there is an opportunity there to become a fitness type of coach or just a nutritional coach. You could just post out on Facebook, hey, you know what? Over the last several months, I've been getting people asking me how I did this, whatever this is. Maybe you stopped smoking. Maybe you have a program you've gone through and you got some awesome results. You overcame a challenge and people are asking you, how did you do that? Well, there's an opportunity. You could say, you know what? I'm really thinking about turning what I just did into a business. I'm going to do some coaching. So that would be another way to make some very quick money, is grab some one-on-one coaching clients, throw it out on your Facebook profile that you're looking for people, and just see what kind of interest is out there. But there are people that need your services, and there's so much opportunity out there. You just got to be willing to do it.
Yeah, I agree. There's huge amounts of opportunity right now, and maybe especially because of COVID rather than in spite of it.
Sure.
But we've been talking here about all these different things of, okay, we can go and go to our basement and collect stuff and turn around and sell it. We can go to a thrift store and buy something and resell it. We can do things you were saying, mowing lawns or changing oil or whatever. All of these things are things that require that you do something and then you keep repeating doing the same thing over and over.
Right.
Are there any things that you can think of here that are more scalable than that, where I don't have to sit here and keep doing the same thing?
Sure. Yeah. So, well, in my world where I'm teaching, I have a lot of students that sell on Amazon. The strategy of finding replenishable items might fit under that category. I have one student in particular that essentially outsources a lot of the work of it. So he actually literally goes into Walmarts and finds stuff that's regular retail and that he can still sell for a profit. These are items that sell literally over and over again. And so that's the replen strategy. And now he has shoppers that go into that same store, and now all they're shopping from is from a list of items that they need to restock. And so that's completely outsourced to him. He doesn't outsource to his shoppers. He doesn't do that anymore. He doesn't touch the box tape. He doesn't send it off to Amazon anymore. So that would be something I would say that you still have to do it over and over again, but he has somebody else do it. I would say maybe the other option is, publishing. If you have creating a book or a course, you put that out one time and you can have sales going any time of night. And that is work that you just did one time and you can continue to get paid for it. I'd say that would be in that category. That would be very passive, not passive at the beginning, but passive as it goes along.
Yeah.
Those are the ones that under what I do. And I'm sure there's others.
Yeah, great info here today. As we get close to where we're going to wrap up here, is there any kind of final thoughts that you want to leave our listeners with?
Guys, just take action. I mean, just listen to this podcast and take action, implement what he's talking about. And because there's so many ways to make money online, just pick one that feels like, yeah, that's the right one for me, and just do it. The beautiful thing about the internet is you don't have to go out and spend hundreds and thousands of dollars to try out some of these things. Literally, you can start like one idea of going in around your house and finding stuff to sell. That costs you nothing. Takes some time to do it, but it doesn't cost you anything. With the age of the internet, we're not saying you need to go out and create a monumental business plan, go to the bank and borrow $50,000 or, liquidate your 401k and then hope that this business works. Nothing that we teach is like that at all. It's all you can test on a very, very small scale and see if it works before you go further. And it's what we call the inch deep, mile wide strategy. Even with selling physical products, we tell people, buy 2 or 3 of a product. That dollar store idea that you just gave was brilliant. You buy 2 or 3 of those, buy 2 or 3 of another product, buy 2 or 3 of another product that looks good, and try those. And then if those work, okay, then go back and buy 4 or 5 more. And you can totally scale it up in a small level and you're not having to go into debt and not have to do it. Spend thousands of dollars to try it. So I would just say take action. Don't sit behind the other side of the podcast listening and not doing anything.
Yeah, totally agree. And the whole idea here of doing things on a small scale like that too is that you don't have to even spend a lot of money on ads and stuff, because
Right.
You're going out and you're going to marketplaces that already exist, whether it
Exactly,
be
right.
Amazon or Craigslist or eBay or Walmart or wherever we all talked about. You're putting stuff on somebody else's platform to start with. So it's, I agree. Take action.
Just take action.
Absolutely.
That's right.
And one of the ways they can take action is to go buy your book. You want to tell people how they can get a hold of your book?
Sure. It's actually free,
you?
guys. I mean, you can get the actual hard copy version. It's small. It fits in the palm of my hand. So it's only like 65 pages, and you can read it probably in 45 minutes. I did that purposefully because, I got books behind me on my shelf that I've never even read, unfortunately. And so it's an easy read, but you can go to streamsofincome.com to get the hardback copy. If you just go to streamsofincomeradio.com, that's also my podcast site. There's a link at the top to get the ebook version completely free.
Very good. I'll put those links in the show notes.
Yeah.
And appreciate you being here, Ryan. This has been fun.
My pleasure. Thanks for having me.
Thanks for listening to today's episode of 20 Minutes of Influence. If you enjoyed today's podcast, please leave a review on iTunes or wherever you listen to your podcasts. And if you are interested in booking myself as a speaker at one of your events, or are interested in any of my coaching programs, please visit gregjameson.com.